It's often said that the last election you'll ever have is the time that you elect a communist, and then you won't have any more elections. You won't have to worry about that. Communists will just take control. And communists have had control of a considerable amount of South America on our continent for quite a while. And they've done a number on these countries. None of them have gotten better. All of them have gotten worse. And Nicaragua is one of those places. Nicaragua has very high rates of poverty. And they have a communist-occupied government that has just done what communists do all the time, which is to just cancel all their elections forever. Nicaragua's president said, can you even call it a president now? Communist dictator Ortega says the country will never again hold elections, shutting out opposition. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about what this is, because this is like the goal. This is the ultimate goal in places like this. The elections, and especially the elections throughout South America, with the defunding of USAID, have proven to be nightmarish for the institutional globalist left. Not only are the people choosing right-wing populist and nationalist parties that align with Western civilization and the United States of America, but they're also freely choosing to throw out the communists. And in cases like Venezuela, applauding when we black bag their communist dictators. Is that something that's going to have to happen in Nicaragua now? Let's go ahead and look. This is Nicaragua's long-serving president. You can't really call him a president if he's calling for the end of all elections. He said in Central American country will no longer hold elections, eliminating the possibility of any electoral challenge when his team ends next year and further entrenching his rule that he shares with his wife. Great. This is good. We've seen this movie before. Marco Rubio saying the Trump administration and the international community will not stand by. The dictatorship deepens repression at home and manufactures instability that threatens U.S. national security. Ortega's pledge to abolish elections in Nicaragua proves his cowardice and fear the Nicaraguan people's will. Now, Nicaragua, of course, critical location. It's borders El Salvador. It's an awesome country. El Salvador is where they say there is a real dictator there, right? Because he has clean streets and safe neighborhoods, and he's creating tech hubs and an incredible and exciting future for his people. And he's a dictator, right? Like, I haven't seen anything about this Ortega. You can see here, of course, how important this is. It's right next to Panama, Nicaragua. Has access, right, to both oceans, technically. And it's got a critical choke point if you're doing, if you're doing trade or if you're traveling, sort of through this gap right here that connects South America and North America. So it's like an important country, obviously. And now the United States is saying, this ain't gonna work. So here we go. Nicaragua's Daniel Ortega says Central American country will no volverán a ver. So I want you to think about Joe Biden when you hear this. Elecciones. Sounds like Joe Biden. Spanish Joe Biden. Volverán a ver elecciones. There won't be any more elections. Volverán a ver elecciones. There won't be any more elections here, he says. Para que por ahí intenten ellos for them to try to seize the government, to seize power. He can barely get his words out. He's mumbling. Y vamos a trabajar con las asambleas nacionales y con las organizaciones correspondientes, las leyes, porque hay que hacer las leyes que les pongan un muro, un bloque a los golpistas, a los vendepatrias, y que por mucha plata que le den los yanquis, no podrán, no volverán. Okay, cool, dude. It's like going after the Yankees. Sus, right? No volverán a ver. You can vote your way into communism. You will never vote your way out, right? Spencer Pratt. The nail on the head. Nicaragua's president says the country will no longer hold elections, eliminating any challenge to his rule. Look at that. You know, he's like a great dude when he's dyeing his mustache. Cool, bro. Nicaragua is next. Despicable Ortega criminal regime is terrorist gang running the country. I like it though. It gives you the opportunity to like have actual revolution. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Nicaragua's longtime president declares the country will no longer hold elections. Now, let me just tell you what, sir, another Latin American country is experiencing the warmth of collectivism. Let me tell you a little something. This is what they want to do here. And they'll do this. They'll do this here. The DSA has a rap sheet out that says they want to end the U.S. Senate. They want to abolish the Senate. They're going to get rid of the Senate, the Electoral College. The Supreme Court is fine, but you got to add 30 different justices. All of them, like Dylan Mulvaney, will be a justice. Ketanji Brown Jack, all of her sisters, all of her sorority sisters will be justices, right? Like that's their idea. And then, of course, abolishing power, ruling forever is like making Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. states. So you make sure that you add like 7 more Democrat senators, permanent Democrat senators, and then you flip the Senate forever. Or you get rid of the Senate altogether if you can't win it. So this is the standard throughout the world when it comes to communism. This is how it worked in Eastern Europe. This is how it worked in the Soviet Union. This is how it worked in Cuba right now. Now, very interestingly enough, Marco Rubio released his sort of Cuba dossier yesterday. For 6 decades, the Cuban regime has been a leading sponsor of radical leftism and third worldism in the United States. The State Department is exposing this full history, subversion of our country. The American people deserve to know, and he just needs one more step there, which is to say, we're going to act now. He's going to say, we're going to do it. He says, we're going to do it. They're going to go after Cuba, man. I'm telling you. I think they're going to get the Iran thing zipped up. They're going after Cuba. Rubio put out a report that ties the launch of Obama and the mainstreaming of Marxist politics to the propaganda of the Cuban regime, highlighting how he recruited by the founders of domestic terror group, which had deep ties to Cuba. I'm telling you, like we're taking this the administration takes this deadly seriously. So I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't think much about Nicaragua. Do you? What do you think should happen there? Maduro black bag? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But to the communist dictator Ortega, if you start hearing Fortunate Son off in the distance with like the whirl of chopper blades, and it's a dark night, and you look out over your city from whatever mountaintop castle that you live in, and suddenly all the power goes out. Ding, 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 ding. Start saying your prayers.